Welcome back, folks, to part two. I made a commitment early on to keep my channel to source pure, untainted by outside influences. Everything I've created since then has come from that place. This is a game, the inhale and the exhale, the give and the take. That dynamic will be a theme throughout this series. In 2004, 2005, I helped someone shift through an energy product or session. The emotional release they experienced was unlike anything I'd seen, and that feeling, that impact, became addictive in the best way. It pushed me to shed limitations, belief systems, and societal programming. That was the moment I truly understood how to unlimit my thinking and, in turn, my potential. As the journey continued, the ideas and inspiration kept flowing. They weren't new ideas, they were memories returning. In this part two, I'll share more of the granular details. There are parts I won't share. Some are too personal, and I want to respect others involved. I may change names, but those who were there will know. The game, this spiritual journey, grants you responsibility. If you act on what you're given, you evolve. If not, you fade. What you do with what you're shown determines everything. Part two, the map, the mountain, and the machines. Some stories don't begin with a plan. They begin with a calling, one you can't explain, only follow. Roughly 3 weeks after my awakening experience, still reeling from that internal shift, I found myself boarding a flight to Utah. I had no real agenda, just a strong inner knowing pulling me west. Jason, the man who had created the white powder of gold product I'd taken, was waiting. He picked me up in Salt Lake City in a massive white jacked-up truck, something you'd expect to see in a post-apocalyptic survival movie. It had power, presence, and attitude. We named it Zeke. That night we went out for a drink, got to know each other in person. It felt grounded, real. I remember getting back to his place that night and things starting to stir, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what. Jason wasn't just some new age guy. He had deep knowledge of ancient energy systems, electromagnetic field anomalies, and forbidden science. He showed me his setup. Plates that created vortex spirals, devices that used geometry and intention to generate fields of coherence. I saw things in that house I couldn't explain, tools that felt alive. He told me stories of hidden Spanish gold buried in the mountains, of how conquistadors had mined the region for 150 years, of Jesuit priests smuggling wealth and knowledge back to Europe while secretly hiding pieces of it here on the land, and of sacred sites, charged nodes protected by the earth itself. We weren't just talking theory, we were preparing for a field mission. Jason laid out a white cloth over a large map of southern Utah and handed me a bunch of pins. "Where do you think it is?" he asked. I didn't think. I just acted. I dropped the pins. One landed near a location we'd later call Temple Mount. The next morning, we drove Zeke out into the wilderness, guided by gut instinct and those pinpoints. As we approached the hill, I saw something in my mind. Moses standing on the ridge, summoning lightning. It felt crazy to say out loud, but I couldn't shake it. When we reached the top, something shifted. The odometer on the truck hit exactly 12,000 miles. We stepped out and began exploring. The trees on the hill were burnt from the inside out, charred in a way that didn't make sense. In the middle of a completely arid patch of land, there was a puddle of water, still, reflective, sacred. We found a rock overhang and a shallow cave blackened with soot. Jason called in a geologist friend who confirmed it was a centuries-old smelting site. They'd been refining ore right there, just like I'd seen in my vision. That was just the first trip. Months later, I felt called again, this time to a place near Eureka, Utah. The moment I stepped onto that land, something felt off. Too quiet, too still, too intense. I placed a Hostess Ho-Ho snack cake on the ground and left it there for 3 days. Not a single insect touched it. Even the ants avoided the area. On that trip, I got severely dehydrated, hospital level bad. I pushed myself too far and my body shut down. But after being pumped with fluids and rested, I went right back into the field. I wasn't done yet. To be continued,